In the spirit of Nate Dogg. Hey, 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 hey. Give us a Strange Days Blu-ray. Or hell, a Strange Days 4K. But yo, hook up the Strange Days on the Blu-ray 4K front. Cause your peoples wants it, and your peoples needs it. Bang your head to the opening riff. What's happening, y'all? It's your boy J-Dub here with The Real Rush. And this is episode 11 here on YouTube. Thank y'all for tuning in. Let's go ahead and get on down to business. Get on down to brass tacks here, ladies and gents. Because not only do we have a lot of ground to cover, I'd like to kind of try to shorten this a little bit because this be running Sunday lates a little late. But hey, you know what? We're gonna see what happens because I'm already rambling already. We got 3 new movies for y'all this week. I know I said 4 last weekend. I do apologize. Head Full of Honey. If you're looking for that review, the new Nick Nolte movie that unfortunately got pulled from this week's schedule. Hopefully at some point it will get re-added to the schedule, and once it does, we'll go see that, and then we'll have the review for you. But Head Full of Honey, if you're looking for that one, I do apologize. We don't have them yet. But we got 3-ish movies for you. Plus, we got the Golden Globe nominations, which I completely forgot were happening this past week, which someone had reminded me. I could have commented that. Oh, brother, help a brother out. That's alright, though. I can't blame it on anybody but myself. Because I just straight didn't know. But that means that award season has officially started, and we got to cover that too. So we're going to get to that after the reviews tonight. But we're going to kick things off because if you were paying attention to the end of last week's episode, I mentioned that we were going to have an advanced screening review for y'all tonight. So we're going to flip mode it and kick off this episode with the main event. Because people want to know how it is. What's the verdict on Bumblebee? Bumblebee is awesome! 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 Set in 1987, 20 years before the events of the original, or I should say, of the first Transformers film of the current franchise. This stars Haley Steinfeld. It's got John Cena in it, John Ortiz, Jorge Lindenborg Jr. It's also got the voices of Angela Bassett, Justin Theroux, Dylan O'Brien, and of course, how can we forget, no Transformers movie is complete without the voice of Peter Cullen as Optimus Prime. This movie is great. This movie is great. This movie is great. Bumblebee is great. Bumblebee is great. Bumblebee is great. Bumblebee is great. It's got a fantastic human touch to it. The humor, it's very 80s-esque, as if like the screenplay was written in the 80s by like some dude at Hasbro back then, and it just got found, and then they dusted it off, and just made it seem like it was written yesterday, but it was actually written back in the 80s. But you'll know when you see it, because when you do see it, and I do say when, because that's what's going to happen when you do see it. That's it. When you see it, yeah. The humor, it's not too cheesy. It's great. And the action and the CGI, it's well done. Extremely well done. The Autobots and Decepticons, they don't look all stylized and shit like they have the last couple Transformers movies. They look more like the 80s style version, man. Like the cartoon that we grew up with, man. Yeah, it's good. And the action. Not only is it well done, but it's well placed. It's not all over the place like the franchise is known to be, like the grand explosions that just happen all the time and popping out of the sky and out of the ground and out of your ass and all types of crazy stuff. Yeah, all that's not happening in this one. No. No. It's different. And it's good different. It's a great different. It doesn't look like a big ass car commercial. or any type of commercial. The product placement, I mean, technically, if you look enough for it, it's there, but it's not in your face like a pop-up ad and a pop-up ad and a pop-up ad and a pop-up ad and a pop-up ad, malware, all that, all over the place. The last couple movies, no. Not only is Bumblebee easily the best entry in the Transformers franchise, but it's exactly for that reason that it is exactly what the franchise needed. Exactly what the franchise needed. Exactly what the franchise needed. I won't go into detail about the last couple of Transformers movies because we'll be here all night. But the rumors are true. They ain't been that hot. But Bumblebee, it's on some hot shit, y'all. It's directed by Travis Knight. He did Kubo and the Two Strings from 2 years ago. That got nominated for Best Animated Feature at the Oscars 2 years ago. That's a great film too. Check that out as well. Bumblebee is chock full of 80s goodness. Right down to the fact that there are some Easter eggs to the original Transformers movie. I'm not talking about the one that came out 11 years ago. No. I'm talking about the one that we grew up with, damn it. The 1986 Transformers, the movie, the animated joint. Keep your eyes and ears open for that. This officially opens on December 21st. It was a packed house when I saw it last night, ladies and gents. And the whole audience loved it. Whole audience loved it. The only other Transformers movie that I've seen in the theater was last night. Not last night. The last night. The fifth one in the series. That falls into the, see, now you got me going down this rabbit hole. This wormhole. Whatever kind of hole. Bumhole. Asshole. Whatever. Because that's where the last couple came from. At least the last night. It was so bad that it was funny. This one is actually genuinely funny and on point with its dialogue and stuff. So yeah, Bumblebee. Go see it when it officially opens, December 21st. That's about 2 weeks from now, depending on when you're looking at this episode. Go see Bumblebee. It is awesome. So much for keeping this episode somewhat short. That's alright though, because it's my shit. I can do whatever I want with it. It's all good. I want to stay up all night editing this joint. I stay up all night editing this joint. That's how I roll. Next up, Real Rush Ticket. The movie that I have for weeks been talking about, saying that not only were we going to have the review for, but that I was calling the super duper alcoholic program, which the movie, as it turns out, like I said, has absolutely nothing to do with anything like that sort. I am, of course, talking about 55 Steps. This is based on the true story of Eleanor Reese, who was a mental patient at a psychiatric facility in mid-80s San Francisco, who sued the hospital in a case that was basically advocating for patients' rights in regards to antipsychotic drug treatment after being essentially chemically, and I do apologize for using such a strong term, but after being essentially chemically raped for years on ends by these drugs that she was subjected to against her will, and that ended up damaging her, not even further mentally, even though they were supposed to be helping her, but physically just deteriorated her as well. Helena Bonham Carter plays Eleanor Reese. The lawyer that defends her case, Colette Hughes, played by Hilary Swank, this not only tells the story of the case, but the friendship that was bonded between the two, that not only transcended the case itself, but for a few years to come after the case. It also stars Jeffrey Tambor. Haha. It does not also star Jeffrey Tambor. It also stars Jeffrey Tambor. There you go. But yes, this movie is so heartwarming and it's full of empathy. And I'm really surprised that given the emotional caliber, the story of this movie that this movie tells, and the performance caliber of this movie, that it hasn't gotten much press. I hadn't heard of this until the Cinema Arts Theater posted it as a coming attraction just within the last 2, maybe 3 weeks. It was pretty recent. But yeah, Helena Bonham Carter puts on a career performance in this joint, and I mean, she's always putting on a career performance, so that should go without saying, but no, this is like straight up like Helena Bonham Carter at her absolute, in my opinion, finest, at least in her top 3 performances that I've seen. There's quite a bit of them that I haven't yet, there's quite a bit of them that I have, and from what I have, this is in the top 3 HBC performances. I don't know where you might be able to find this playing at. It seems very limited. If you have to wait for it to come on streaming, I suppose you could do that. But if you do happen to catch this playing in the theater right now, currently near you, go ahead and see 55 Steps. Check it out. It's really good. Bring tissues. Made me cry. Made me think. Made me look within. 55 Steps. Go check it out. Next up on the Real Rush ticket, the half-ish movie I think I mentioned earlier. The half-ish review I think I mentioned. Last week I mentioned that this week I was going to be seeing Schindler's List, Steven Spielberg's epic World War II masterpiece. This has been remastered and re-released to theaters for a limited time only. I think it's only for a week. I think it's only mostly AMC theaters that it's been re-released to. That's where I saw it. It was my first time ever seeing it. Hence, it counts as a Real Rush entry, and hence, it's mentioned here this evening. I almost said The Simpsons, because I'm thinking Sunday. The Sunday evening. But no, not The Simpsons. Schindler's List. One of these things not like the other. Not only was it my first time ever seeing this movie, but it was my first ever movie seeing in Dolby Cinema format. And for those who haven't seen it and don't know the story behind it, just a quick synopsis about it. This stars Liam Neeson as Oskar Schindler, who's a German businessman who back in World War II saved over 1,000 Polish Jewish refugees from the Holocaust by employing them in his factory. The star also stars Ray Fiennes, Ben Kingsley, as stated earlier, is directed by Steven Spielberg. That was a hot year for Steven Spielberg. He put out Jurassic Park and this in the same year, won on to win Best Picture and Best Director that year at the 66 Oscars, and rightfully so. This is a powerful movie. If you've never seen it before, take the time to go ahead and see this in theater. I will, mind you, I'm sure if you've heard of the nature of the movie, as I have, you know that it's very, very heavy at points, so just be prepared for that. But at the same token, I'd recommend it for educational purposes. At least, no less than like a preteen level maybe. So take that at your discretion. I know that there was something about schools showing it back when I was going to school back in the day, because this came out when I was in like 6th grade, and I think there was some controversy about showing it in like high school or something back in the day. But I never saw it up until this point. Great movie. Yeah, too important to miss if you haven't seen it. It's only out in theaters this week until it is released 4K remastered December 18th. But like I said, if you can, see this in theater. Looks great on the screen. 3 hours 15 minutes. Did not feel like 3 hours 15 minutes. It felt like 2-ish hours. I know, right? Especially for a movie of this magnitude. But yeah, Schindler's List. Haven't seen it. Check it out. And that wraps up the movie front. We're going to take a look at some of the Golden Globe nominations here, because as I mentioned earlier, over the last couple weeks, there have been some things that I've mentioned along the way that we absolutely nailed here as far as Golden Globe nominations go. Stars Born, I don't think if I had that for Best Picture or not, but Yeah, that definitely deserves it. Let's go ahead and go down the list here. So, drama for Best Picture, we got Black Klansman, Black Panther, Bohemian Rhapsody, If Beale Street Could Talk, and A Star Is Born. I'm not fighting with that list at all. The only gripe I kind of had of it was there was no nods towards Blind Spotting, which I feel is one of this year's top 5 movies. Blind Spotting, you want to check that out. And Nothing for You Were Never Really Here. I don't know if that would count as a 2018 award season eligible movie, but if it is, then that got hugely overlooked. But that being said, I'm not complaining about this list. So that was drama. Best motion picture for musical or comedy. We got Crazy Rich Asians, totally deserves it. The Favorite, great. The Green Book, awesome. Mary Poppins Returns and Vice. Those two aren't even out in theaters yet. Vice looks amazing. That is heavily anticipated. That's probably my most anticipated movie of December coming up here, or one of them at least. Yeah. Let's see, anything else that we got here? Glenn Close getting nominated for The Wife, Best Actress. Nailed that. Saw that coming a mile away when we saw The Wife a couple months ago. We also got Lady Gaga for A Star Is Born. Nicole Kidman in Destroyer, that's heavily anticipated too. That hasn't come out yet. Melissa McCarthy, Can You Ever Forgive Me? We did mention that. And Rosamund Pike for Private War. I did mention that. I didn't think that she was going to get the nomination, but she got it, and that is awesome. So this is best performance in drama, that is, for actress. Then for actor, we got Bradley Cooper, A Star Is Born. Willem Dafoe at Eternity's Gate. We just reviewed that a couple weeks ago. Lucas Hedges and Boy Erased. Awesome. Rami Malek, Bohemian Rhapsody. And John David Washington for Black Klansman. So the competition's there, ladies and gents. Best performance in motion picture, musical or comedy. Actor, we got Christian Bale for Vice, Dick Cheney. So yeah, that, like I said, heavily anticipated. Lin-Manuel Miranda for Mary Poppins Returns. Viggo Mortensen for Green Book. Robert Redford for Old Man and the Gun. I don't know if we mentioned him getting nominated for something, but glad he did. And we even got John C. Reilly for the upcoming Stan and Ollie. So that's pretty cool. For actress, musical, comedy, we got Emily Blunt, Mary Poppins Returns. Olivia Colman, as we mentioned, for The Favorite, knocked it out of the park. We also have Elsie Fisher for 8th Grade. That's an awesome nomination right there. That is a fantastic movie. If you haven't seen 8th Grade, definitely check that out. Surprise nomination, Charlize Theron for Tully. Charlize Theron for Theory. Charlize Theron for Tully. Ha! Let's get it. Surprise nomination there. Very glad she got the nomination for that. And Constance Wu for Crazy Rich Asians. Then we have supporting actor. We got Mahershala. And that's with no Pepsi today, y'all. Just sheer awards excitement. Mahershala Ali for Green Book. This is supporting actor. Timothy Chalamet for Beautiful Boy. Adam Driver for Black Klansman. Richard E. Grant for Can You Ever Forgive Me. Sam Rockwell for Vice. And supporting actress, we got Amy Adams for Vice. We got Claire Foy for First Man. We got Regina King for If Beale Street Could Talk. That has to come out. Yep, we're still looking forward to that. And then we have Emma Stone and Rachel Weisz, both from The Favorite, both vying for Best Supporting Actress. I told y'all that movie was on point. And for Claire Foy for First Man, I believe we mentioned her, that she was going to get some type of Best Supporting Actor, type of shit like that. And Timothy Chalamet and Mahershala Ali, absolutely. And Richard E. Grant, I believe we mentioned him somewhere along the line as well. If not, we can contest it. Check out the last couple episodes. You can always contest me. And if I did misstep and mistake or missay anything that I've claimed here this evening, let me know. Shit, I'm open to a little bit of constructive criticism here. What else we got going on? For Best Director, we got Bradley Cooper for A Star Is Born. Alfonso Cuarón for Roma, which is only on Netflix and limited theaters. If I can find this in a theater, that's definitely getting added to the list. Peter Farrelly for Green Book, that's awesome. Spike Lee for Black Klansman, and Adam McKay for Vice. For Best Screenplay, we got Alfonso Cuarón for Roma. We got Green Books up for Best Screenplay. Got The Favorite up for Best Screenplay. If Beale Street Could Talk for Best Screenplay, and Vice up for Best Screenplay. And just wanted to mention this one. We did mention that Annie Lennox's song Requiem for a Private War at the end of a Private War was going to get nominated for something. That got nominated for Best Original Song. That is dope. Revelation from Boy Erased. I'm not sure if I mentioned that one or not, but that got nominated as well. So yeah. The only other two gripes that I've really had about it, or snubs I guess you could say, was Ethan Hawke. I felt he should have gotten something for First Reformed. That was just a powerful, heavy role altogether. And Toni Collette, I thought she was going to be a sleeper nomination for Best Actress for Hereditary. And maybe even to a certain degree, Jodie Foster for Hotel Artemis. Golden Globes, January 6th, 2019, airing on NBC. Check those out, because that's like the road to WrestleMania. Movie-wise, yo. Yeah. And that's a wrap for episode 11 here on The Real Rush on YouTube, ladies and gents. Next episode, we're going to have for you Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, Mortal Engines, what did I say? I thought that said The Mall. No, The Mule, Mary Queen of Scots, Ben is Back, Vox Lux, Shoplifters. Now all these are of course, movie schedule cards subject to change. Absolutely. We need to start saying that beforehand. But yeah, so that's 7 movies right there. Plus, we got another advanced screening, y'all. We seen Aquaman next Saturday night. We'll have that review for you as well. That's 8 movies. If all does pan out that way. That I'm going to try to cram into next weekend. That's something that I've never done in one weekend before, in a Thursday through Sunday run. 8 movies. That's a lot. Kind of wish there were 2 of me at that point, and just USB me together or something, and we'll figure something out. But we're currently sitting at 193 movies seen in the theater so far, just this season alone. That means, actually, hold on, math time. So that means that if we see 8 movies next weekend, one of those will undoubtedly be the 200th movie that we've seen so far this season, and we still have a little bit over a month left. And if we see all 8, then that'll make us hit 365 total movies that we've seen. That's 365 total movies that we've seen in the theater since I started The Real Rush in January 2017. No repeats, all never before seen by my eyes in the theater. And I mean, math shit, that means that's like a little bit more than every other day at the theater, seeing one movie at a time for the last not even 2 years. I need like a T186, like my calculator. I need that shit, because that's a lot of numbers. But I'm just going to end up playing Snakes or Drug Wars on the shit anyway, so yeah, hook it up with a T186. I miss that joint. Don't you? Sitting in the back of Function Trade class, playing Snake, Drug Wars. Good times. Good times. Yet I digress. This has been episode 11, ladies and gents. Wish me luck on next weekend's journey, as I'm gonna put it. If you have any questions or comments, please don't be hesitant or afraid to go ahead and type those on below, or wherever this box is, wherever you're watching this from, whatever platform set is repping this. In the meantime, please continue to subscribe. Thank you if you have already done so. And thank you for being a loyal viewer and subscriber to The Real Rush. J-Dub loves you. Absolutely. And please continue to spread the word of The Real Rush, like everybody should be spreading love these days. In the meantime, please follow your boy and continue to do so on Instagram for my movie check-ins as they occur. That is at JDubChampion. Hashtag The Real Rush. And until next episode, episode 12, y'all. I know I said I was going to make this short, and I think this is probably going to be one of my longest episodes, but we did cover a lot of ground here tonight. I want to thank y'all for being here with me. Ooh. I want to thank y'all for being here with me. Ooh. And I want y'all to join me just in a quick session. Oh yeah. Yeah. And that's how we're going to break it down on episode 11. 11. Yeah. Thanks for watching, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you for listening to me ramble. The Real Rush, on and on, week in, week out. Thanks for making it grow and grow and grow. Thank you for letting me know that my efforts have not gone unnoticed. Thanks for watching. And until episode 12, as I was starting to say like 5 minutes ago, have fun, y'all. Love J-Dub. Enjoy yourselves at the movies. Remember, when you're at the movies, you gotta keep the lips shut, cell phones away, vibrate, keep them bright ass things turned down. And until episode 12, we'll see you next weekend! Ish! I don't know, because that's a lot. Wish your boy luck! Peace out! We'll see you next weekend! Ish! Peace out! Jesus. What would y'all do if there were actually two of me running around? Man, these people would lose their fucking minds. Yes, they would. Yes, they would.